jumping out. I literally I just put my phone on ice.
And I know for a fact, based on experience, you drink it and it's like meth.
Suspicious.
I think that only then that innovation can progress and move forward. So
Some random word, like, I don't know, like fruity monkey panda.sol, whatever, like just some shit.
we want to see it everywhere in the world. That's how identity works. It shouldn't be a luxury.
Why did you take the opportunity at SNS?
You think that would be sick for Breakpoint?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
dude. Crypto Schwarzenegger.sol, aka Simon. Hi, Om. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers. We usually have my co-host Simon here, but for whatever reason, it seems like his internet has cut out, and that's totally fine because we have a very special guest today. So first, before we begin, I know this is a little bit weird because we were just on the stream with Simon just a second ago. Om, how are you?
I know. Great to be here, really. And it's always amazing to see you. And yeah, I can't wait for Simon to hop in very, very soon. I saw him just now. So come back, Simon.
We're doing this live. And honestly, even if we don't have Simon, totally fine. Because, he is back. And we will bring him on in just a second. Just give him a second to, get himself all calibrated. But first, of course, we have SNS live here on Soul Brothers. We have some comments in the section as well. So in Soul We Trust.sol, Om the boss. Om is indeed the boss. Purge says that is a clean domain. I agree. It is a very clean domain. And Purge says first.
He's the big boss, right? He's the big boss. Our community is our big boss. So
your community is your big boss.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So I think Simon is just about ready. Simon, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come. He needs a little bit more time. No problem. And so I think the best place to start is actually just a little bit of color. How did we meet? I think the first time we had met, once, I think in was it Solana Summit in KL? But then the first time that we really talked was in Hong Kong. We were at a Monkey DAO lunch, I believe.
It was like the big, what is it? Like a big dim sum place.
Yeah.
Monkey DAO event. Jamie was across the table, and then
right.
Yeah, somehow I got to sit with you. It's just so amazing. I mean, I've been your fan. Like, I know who you are, of course. So, as a fanboy, I kind of like, I get to sit with and then you were so kind. I was just sitting down. You were there a bit earlier than I was, and I was just like, here, have you got this, what is it, a hagao, all these things. You keep putting things on my plate.
What I remember actually is that you started speaking to Yvonne first. Yvonne is obviously my wife, but you and Yvonne were sitting together and talking a little bit, and I think I was minding my own business, and then suddenly you said the magic words, and the magic words were Chiang Mai, and I was like, suddenly, yeah. So, all right, Simon,
it goes from there. Yeah, Simon, you here?
Oh, he is back. Hey there, brother.
Welcome to Soul Brothers, where it's out. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry for jumping out. I literally I just put my phone on ice, because it crashed. It overheats.
Your
because
phone
I'm using
overheated?
my hotspot right now.
Yeah,
I'm using my hotspot right now, but I want to make this work, so we're gonna make it work. Welcome home to Soul Brothers. Sorry for the late join.
That's the builder mentality. Yeah. Do whatever it takes, right? You make it work eventually. So I'm glad you're
here. Wait, I hope this
Simon
work.
Just one more time for the audience. Could you explain the phone situation and why you're on a hotspot? Just explain what's going on here. A little context for people.
So I'm tuning in right now from the south of France, the beautiful Riviera. It's very pretty outside, but the Wi-Fi is slow as fuck. So I'm sitting here, and I tried the Wi-Fi earlier, it didn't work. So now I put my hotspot on. I bought some data on my phone, and it's working really well until we started live streaming. And then my phone was getting very hot, and it just crashed down. So now I'm sitting here, and I put it on ice. So I have a phone on ice. And let's hope that the ice is not melting too quickly. So we should get started, guys. We should get started with Om. Welcome to Soul Brothers, Om. Good to have you here. And obviously, for everyone who's tuning in right now as well, Soul Brothers is sponsored by Jupiter and SNS as well. So we have a strategic partnership, and we're super happy about that, because we love to work with Solana builders that are here for the long term, that have the genuine belief in the ecosystem, and that also build exciting products. And SNS is part of that. And today we have the CEO of SNS on the pod. Om is here. Om, does anyone know your actual name in crypto? Like your first name? Because Om is not your full name, isn't it?
Om is my nickname actually, but like trust me, it's much easier like to go by Om. Like my real name is too long, and yeah, Om is perfect. It's actually like in my like family, my friends, like everyone call me Om, right? So it's really something personal that like I think it's best to portray like myself and everyone's know me as Om.
That's actually one thing that I learned about Thai people. Like I've had plenty of Thai friends growing up, and they always had nicknames. It's always like a 1 or a 2 syllable nickname, like Mook, for example, right? Or Cha. And what I realized when I lived in Chiang Mai for a year is that everybody in Thailand has a nickname. Nobody uses their full name. They always use like the single or the 2 syllable one. And so like. And then right before you joined, Simon, we were talking a little bit about how we first met. And I would also love to hear, like, have you met Om in person, IRL?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, right? Well, I mean, like, so, like, I had met Om before, but, like, we had really started talking at a Monkey DAO lunch in Hong Kong. And, like, she was talking to Yvonne, but then she said the magic words, which was Chiang Mai. And that's where I lived in Thailand. And that's Om's hometown. So I was like, wait, that's what? Awesome. Yeah. And so like, yeah, I think we've had chemistry ever since, and we've been talking. So it's really good to have you on the pod, Om.
It's really great to be here as well. And like one of the great things that I get to do this year, right? Like highlight is like getting to see you guys in real life event as well. I think I think in April, right? I get to see Simon simultaneously in multiple countries in like Solana events, but in very many different countries. Like we met in Dubai, and then we met again at Crossroad.
New York, probably.
Yeah. So like Solana is really everywhere, and it's always great to see like you get to hang out and get to know each other more. One of the highlights, though, I want to share this like so much, right?
Yes.
Like I was really sick like during Crossroad, and that day like had to be on stage, and then like I was like, oh wow, like after my talk, I was just like, okay, I almost collapsed, right? I was like kind of rushing back to the hotel, but I met Eno along the way before I actually rushed out. I was saying like, hey, how are you? Like you don't look well. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling well, And then suddenly Eno said, wait here, okay? Wait here for just a few minutes. Trust me, I'll be right back. So, okay, I just waited. He came back with this like, okay, like people in crypto love drops, right? Like be it airdrops, be it other drops. But came back with the best drops ever. What is it? You
it's like Korean vitamins, and when I say Korean, it's like it's it's like like vitamin D, vitamin B. It's like stuff that's like very good for when you have a cold. Vitamin C as well. So it's like a really popular kind of like immunity shot that we take in Korea now. So I know for a fact, based on experience, you drink it and it's like meth. I don't know what it is, but like it gives you energy and like you just feel like better. I don't know how to describe, but it's just vitamins. I promise.
It's like meth.
I don't know what it is. I didn't know what it was, right? Like, okay, give it to me. So like I just took it, but really it did magic. Like I felt a lot better. I felt like wow, somehow energy was back. So maybe that's like, is that your secret recipe? Every time we see.
No, actually at the conferences, I usually take them in the beginning of my day because like I know I'll be shaking a lot of hands, and I don't mind hanging out with lots of people, but like as you guys know, like people are sick at the conferences all the time, and so it's not like anything malicious, but like the germs kind of spread around, and so like, and I do wash my hands as much as possible, but if you could like get an immunity boost, that's
a good point.
Someone said, telling a lady that she's not looking well is to be expected. Very rude, man. Well,
That's sarcastic. I hope it's sarcastic.
I hope it's sarcastic. Well, I mean, like,
Sorry,
I think that I think what I asked was like, "Are you okay?" And then you said you were
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
And I was like, "Ugh, okay, sorry about that." But yeah, I
yeah.
think we
That
got you
that saved
feeling a
me.
little bit
So
better. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that saved me. So yeah, I owe a lot to like at
Yeah. But I think before we jump right into SNS, like we'd really love to get to know you more as a person. And the thing that kind of surprised me a bit was, I mean, there's a lot of things about your bio that surprised me, but you actually spent quite a lot of time on the East Coast, which makes sense, like why you would be wearing that Boston cap, right? So, like, could you
actually,
tell
there's
people?
other reason.
Oh,
There's
there are
other
other. Why are you wearing a Boston cap?
Well, okay, because it's like it's from a .sol holder who I really respect, and he's
Uh
very
huh.
successful. I want you to guess who that is. Okay.
The
I can show
Dotso
you a bit.
hoarder?
His signature is here. Signature is here. Can you see?
I can't
We
see
Really
can't
cannot.
see
it.
it.
Okay.
It's too. Is it two names?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
it's the
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
name. It's a, yeah. It's signed. It's Boston. So a crypto company that first located in Boston. Let me give you a hint.
Mm. Mm.
Oh man, I'm feeling like such an idiot right now. First crypto company based in
Stablecoin.
Boston. Stablecoin.
Stablecoin.
Circle.
Stable.
Jeremy Allaire.
Oh, Jeremy
Jeremy
Alaire. So
Allaire.
he gave me
Oh
this
Jeremy
yeah.
in
Allaire.
yes.
Hell yeah. I thought it was gonna be like some Solana builder, like some dude like us. It's like, oh, Jeremy Allaire.
Jeremy
All right.
Alaire. So it's like
Yeah.
I love this hat. It's like a full cycle for me. So also
That's
related to my
crazy.
background. Like I met him when I was in TradeFi. Really, I was working with
Mm.
like a bank and also
Mm-hmm.
looking into like digital asset as well.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, of course, Jeremy wants like USDC everywhere, right? Including Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
He came over, hosted a dinner together, and then yeah, it was a really great experience, great time.
I
That
see.
was way before I came to SNS. And
Yeah.
then yeah, he's I always listen to his like podcast, and yeah, he's always been my idol. But now like that, like with SNS, and you see if you go to Jeremy Allaire's Twitter, he has
Uh-huh.
.so up there, right, on his profile.
Mm.
So
Oh.
yeah, he has it. He has it up
Okay.
there. And yeah, like with the success of Circle, with the contribution that he does to the crypto industry, he's always been my idol, right? So
Mm.
yeah, this hat like means a lot to me. And
Mm.
like I think like with whatever we want to build, like also like create this community for .so, we see a lot of builders, Jeremy himself, like other builders within the community, they're everywhere, right? Like, so
Mhm.
this is like something that I really grateful like that I get to be here. I get to serve everyone in the community, and I think it's the best job to be ever, because like every day I get to work for the community. Like we have, I think, in So We Trust here in the audience, right? Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
sent me like one of the sweetest thing. By the way, thank you so much. Like you really made my day. Like this past weekend, like he's uh, the personal message in the DM, like I want to let you know, I shared with everyone in the team. You really like feel our energy to keep going and keep building. So yeah, it's really like all this community, like all this history is kind of like a full cycle, right? Like
Yeah.
getting to work with a real project, creating real utility, and get to
Mhm.
interact with the community every day is it's been amazing so far. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. I mean, like, in your background I mean, like, you love working with the community, but it's like you have like a really diverse background from what we can tell, right? And so, like, if I'm not mistaken, you actually got a full ride to Wharton, right? Like a full
Yeah.
scholarship to Wharton. So like, that's crazy. I mean, like,
Well,
like, so
it
you
was
got your
really
MBA.
no, like finance, right? I did my CFA, I got my MBA from
Uh-huh.
Wharton, and then like that's where I actually first got into crypto. It was through the Wharton FinTech Club. So
Oh.
I think it was like a school trip to New York.
Mhm.
I think
Mm.
back in 2016, 17, around that time, and then we went to visit like blockchain.com.
Mm.
During the
Mm.
time they have like the head office, and then I remember going in. There was a screen showing the real like transaction of Bitcoin, right? Like, and then the guy next to me was just like, "Hey, you want some Bitcoin? Like, just out of the wallet, I transfer some to you." So that's really like my first like touch of the crypto. After that, coming back, I got to work on digital asset policy. So coming up with regulations around like digital assets here in Thailand, we have everything established since like 2018. So all the regulations related to exchange, broker, dealer. So it was really fun. And after that, I transferred into like the other side, like the private side of things, got to work with banks, like exchanges, also custodian. And after that, founded like a project related to identity and came over to SNS. It's been quite a ride, I would say, but
Mhm.
amazing
I think
journey.
no. You're speed running through this too quickly. It's like
Oh,
like you went to Wharton and then you worked at the Thai SEC. So that's what she's
yeah, yeah.
referring to. It's like
I
she
was,
literally worked at the Thai, equivalent of the. I mean, not the equivalent. It literally is the Securities and
Yeah.
Exchange Commission
mission.
in Thailand, and you didn't have a short career there. You actually kind of. It seems like that's where you built your initial career, right? Was like more on the regulatory side. And
Yeah,
you were there for over 9 years. Is that true?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
But then
if
I
you were
got to learn a
there,
lot.
yeah. So I mean, like if you were there for over 9 years, that means that you got to be there from ground zero when the government was starting to see crypto and thinking about how to regulate it, right?
Yeah, from the very very beginning of that thinking, right? At that time, I think it was just two countries that were looking into this. It was Switzerland and Japan.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of research like has to be done, right? Like before you can actually come up with any policy, you need to know what it is first. So that got me into the first ICO. It was
Mhm.
2017, and then like the ICO craze was happening, and then yeah, of course you have to go like buy it, invest ICO, doing all those things, just to learn more. And then yeah,
Mhm.
it came about, and I guess like all this career in crypto just started from there.
And
Mm.
could you tell us a little bit more about like what it was like at that time? Like what was the appetite at the Thai regulator? Like how were they looking at crypto? Like this is a very unique insight I think most people don't have into like how a regulator actually. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, so like we don't need all the tea, but would love to just know like what is it like to work for one of the. I mean, because Thailand now is a haven for crypto, right? And it's because of the work that you guys did to make sure that there was a very clear framework for not only businesses but also like individuals who want to participate, right? So like what was the thinking at the time and like how did it evolve? Like I'm just like super curious about the story.
Yeah, the thing is of it during that time is that hey, this is like something really new, but like eventually, like I think that's the belief that like it will grow, right? Eventually, it could bring like seismic change to the capital market, right? Like I think I still remember it's like a board meeting where we try to present like, oh, what is cryptocurrency? What is digital asset? And then the question that came out is like, of course, like from a more conservative side of things, people ask like, okay, how are we going to prevent this? Or how are we going to close this, right? Probably like, imagine that like back in 2017, it's not as well adopted as of now, right? So yeah, there's a question like that. But then like, I think people were I think there were really also a discussion whereby they realized if they want people to have nothing to do with this, it's like closing down the internet and closing down like all the electricity and infrastructure that is already exists. There's no way, right? So there were like three ways of thinking during that time. Like first, you do nothing. That's also a decision, like do nothing, just monitor for now, and also like wait and see, right? Which is like the approach that most countries take.
Mhm.
Second, like you do something, which is meaning like you could ban it, right? But what does it mean by a ban? It's not really effective anyway. Like you can write anything on the paper, but whether you can do it is another story, right?
Yeah,
And the
enforcement.
third way
Yeah.
is that like, you really like look into this, you learn this and see like how can you also protect your investors and also like allow them to explore these new vehicles like investment vehicles, right? Like
Mhm.
without like banning outright. So eventually, I mean, like there are many approaches during that time that multiple countries take, right? Like most of it you can see on the camp of like, okay, it's not big enough yet, let's wait and see how it goes, right? Like people who actually go into this, oh, they do it at their own risk. Let's keep it for that. But for Thailand, we took the third approach, which is we trying to really study it and really look into it and see what way that we can basically draw some lines, right? Like there are some protections for investors, that are newbies, new to this market, there's a way for you to actually educate them into learning more about cryptocurrency. And also there's a way for business provider. Back at that time, there was an exchange called BX, which is one of the leading one. But after the start of regulation, I think they closed down, and there are some new players that are coming up, getting the license, like BitCup, like Bitasa, for example. They're like number one, number two right now. So and more coming after the regulation is clear, right? So the approach was that if we make it clear enough, right, like for people who are good people, like who want to do real business, not taking advantage of investors, and there are measures of protection that can be imposed, right? At the same time, like people who come in, they don't have to come in the blind, meaning like there's some light, right? Like if something happened, there's at least some measures that taking care of them, for example. That could be better. So that was the approach that we were thinking. I would say it was not perfect, right? Like looking back, there were many things that like we could have done better. But I mean, if we know then what we know now, I think the approach might be different in a multiple ways, right? But I would say it's not finished. You can see multiple countries, right? Like the U.S. Right now try to push for the stablecoin regulation, for example. I mean, things are evolving, and then people are learning at the same time. But I'm very glad to see that more of this is coming. Like Solana, for example, has been super active in getting involved with the policy side. Recently, they have like the policy task force, right? Like set up. We met them as well, like in DC, in New York, for example. They're based in DC, so their job is really to educate, right? Like the policymakers. More about what is cryptocurrency, what is Solana. And I think only then like that the two will kind of converge. Only then that the real utility and real impacts can happen. It's not like, hey, like I'm too cool to talk to you, right? Like I'm DGen, and I'm not gonna talk to you. And the policy side is like, hey, like you too like innovative, like we have all these things to stick to. It's putting them on the same room and having the real discussion. I think that only then that innovation can progress and move forward. So I'm really happy to see how like this thing evolve. But of course it takes time, right? It doesn't happen in like a few days. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of education, you also worked, you were a co-founder of something called, I believe, Thai Finlit. So like you also have had, a past of trying to educate so you went from like working at the regulator and trying to make sure that you keep customers and businesses safe, right? And then like you trust me, you look at your resume, it's you've done quite a few things, but you've also been in more of the education space, right? So it seems like you're also deeply passionate about making sure that your community or the people that you care about like understand what's going on, the decisions that they're making, financial or otherwise.
Yeah, it's truly my passion. Also because like I also made some mistake along the way, right? Like who hasn't in crypto? Like I lost some coins before. All those crazy stupid mistake that could be preventable. So yeah, if what I'm sharing is helpful, I think I'm very glad, and I can see that from .so communities, right? Like the things that they share, for example, how they use .so in real life. Some of them like actually came up to me on how like .so saved them from like scammers, right? Like like these days they're very good. Like for example, if you send like some crypto to maybe another wallet of yours, you might see another wallet that send in the funds, for example, with the first 5 letter of the wallet address and the last 5 letter wallet address exactly the same as yours. So it's really easy to make a mistake, especially if you want to ape into something really fast, right? So how that .so holder, right, like using it is that he used .so with the subdomain. So I don't know if any of you out there have used this feature before. So let's say I own aom.sol, right, and I have multiple wallets. So I can mark my wallet as like I can mark like wallet A.on.so or wallet B.on.so. So next time I send, instead of like tracing a really long string of wallet address, I can just type this subdomain, right? Like that everything like under on.so, but then categorize it, right? And that kind of saved me from like sending it to wrong address, for example. And that's exactly what that .so holder shared with me about how he's using his .so to help save himself from scam. And yeah, when you hear stories like that, you just really want to keep going and want to keep improving your product to bring more utility for your users. Yeah.
Sure. I think one of the bigger questions that Simon and I were talking about before this podcast is, okay, so you've had this very diverse career, right? Like, why did you take the opportunity at SNS? Like, we're happy to have you, but like, it's a very different business from what you've done before. But I'm sure it's a culmination of all the experience that you have, leading up to this moment, right? And like, you started about, if I'm not mistaken, in November of last year.
Yeah.
So it's been like 8-9 months since you've been here. So would just love to understand, like, what excited you about working over at SNS, and like, why did you take this opportunity? Like, just walk us through that.
Yeah, of course. I think like since stepping in as CEO last November, it's been really a full speed. And I really want to say that the best part is it's really just getting started. It's been amazing, like working with a team. So when I was approached to come into the team as the CEO, like I look at this project, right? It's really like solving the real problem like that we all have, and it hasn't really been solved fully. I mean, like Simon know this very well, that problem is around identity, right? And how I see this is that like .sol is one of the key that could have a chance, right? It's a very very difficult problem. I wouldn't say we will solve it for sure, like 100%. Like many like really like genius, like very intelligent people like trying to solve this, like Soko himself like also tried to solve this before, right? But I don't think like we all like reach the point where we can say that hey, it's solved yet. But I think like it's a very important like within the internet world today, the digital world today, especially in the age of AI that's coming. You don't know what's like real, not real anymore, and identity for human like is super super crucial and super important. So it's a very first of all, this project has a very very interesting like problem, right? Like that we can work on and keep building to actually try to crack or attend to solving it, right? That's number one. Number two is that it has a really really amazing product market fit proven already. So SNS actually started along with Solana. We started very very early on, one of the very very first project within the ecosystem. Actually received the grant like from Solana Foundation in the beginning. We've been building through the bull, through the bear, right? The worst bear ever in 2022. Still surviving. It has a great, great team, right? Like behind this. And yeah, it's a project that has a product market fit whereby it continues, right? Even in the bear time, continue to generate consistent revenue, right? Over this period of time. And as Solana grow, we want to grow with Solana as an ecosystem, right? Like players and partners. So it's a very, very exciting project, a very exciting time to join. Like I work on identity project before, right? Like a lot of people has tried to work on identity project before. You can come up with the best tech, can have the best theory whatsoever, but the hardest part for all this, right, especially those with the KYC, for example, is to get users, right?
Yeah.
SNS is the other way, whereby like users is already there. There's a very, very super strong community already exists, right? And it's on one of the best chain out there, Solana. Faster, better, cheaper for everyone, make it super accessible, laying out like great infrastructure for all the growth. So like when I like heard about this opportunity, it's really like I'm so excited. And also the team, right? Like I know you've met multiple team members already, either like in Hong Kong or like elsewhere in Solana event around the world. Would love for you to meet our whole team sometimes. Like they are super super amazing, really hardworking, cooking every day, care so much about our community. And like one of the things like after I got like to work with them is that one of the things that we really enjoy together is to grow together, not just to grow the number, right? Not just more registration, but
Right.
it's all about like growing together as a person, as a team member as well. An example of that is, for example, Lisa, for example, she's our customer support, right? She's been with the team. And yeah, like we have room whereby, hey, we need more hands on the marketing side, right? And Lisa raised her hand, she stepped up. So all of the amazing thing that you see on Twitter right now is like kudos to her, right? And then like
Nice.
all that kind of like, growth mentality like within the team is super amazing to be working together with them. And also it's also like things that coming into like a full cycle, right? For example, like we have implemented our ambassador program. I don't know if you have seen them around like on
Yes, I
Twitter.
have.
Mhm.
Bro, there's too many pictures on photos of people receiving their ambassador boxes, right? I think I've
Yep.
seen at least
Yes.
I feel like I've seen like 8 minimum. I want to say at least 8 of people being
It's
like,
more.
"I got my .sol package," and like they're super excited. Like it's also like I noticed with the .sol merch is like you guys make it available, but you don't like exactly. It's not like I won't name names, but there are other companies that just like take a pile of shirts and they put it on a
Yeah,
table and they leave, right? And then
yeah,
just you can
no,
pick them
no,
up.
no.
But it's like for .sol, it's kind of like you got to find Ohm or you got to find Christian or you got to find Celine, and then it's like, do you have any hats left? And it's like they always have them, but it's always like kind of it's you have to interface directly with the team, which I really appreciate. And then like there you seem to have like a
Yeah,
very very strong ambassadors program that hasn't really been operationalized with a lot of teams. I'm quite surprised that Simon,
mhm.
we should be doing more of that.
Yeah, I agree. That's
Yeah.
very
So
strong. Like,
yeah, it's like that's been like super amazing because it's like a full cycle, right? Like sometimes you get to meet them in IIL, then they become your
mm,
ambassador. Then after they become your ambassador, right now they start hosting events like around the globe for
yeah,
.so. An example
That's
of that
awesome.
is one that's coming up. It will be in KL on the 4th of July. If you're in KL, like anyone out there, please join us. We also have other partners, SNS partners, also co-hosting things with us. So the organizer is Josh. Josh is our ambassador, and like
For
how we met
FOMO?
was yeah, huh?
FOMO, are you talking about FOMO magazine, George?
Oh no, no, no,
no,
the other
Josh.
George. His family not so. So his
Oh, okay, I
story
see, I
is
see.
also like super amazing. Like he was with Bullish before. We met in Asia Blockchain Week. Afterwards, like Josh has also been along like .so holders. Not only he got it from himself, like he also got it for his dad. His dad is like a pasture, and
Mm,
basically they were doing some farm DeFi farming together, and they were using .so to help make that faster. So yeah, anyway, long story short, like he's been a fan, but now that he's on the ambassador program, he also like step up, and also he'll be like hosting, like emceeing, like for the entire event, like for SNS in KL. So that's like the full cycle, right, of like
mhm,
engagement that like people coming in. First, they start getting to know what SNS is. They got .so. After they got .so, they become ambassador. And then afterwards, they're almost like a family and team members really like helping us like to have these amazing events with other .so communities members like around the world. So it's been really like, also like very positive and very good vibe all around our community. So that's what I'm really grateful for and thankful for. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't realize how strong the SNS community is, but especially around the airdrop. Like Simon, can we both agree that during the SNS airdrop, they like took over the timeline for a couple of days? Like people were super excited
100%.
about that. And
Yeah.
if you could clarify this for us, it's like
Sure.
40% of the supply for SNS is for community. Only 20% of that, so half was given to like the OGs, the people who have been around forever, the people who are hoarding, like you said, SNS addresses, right? But then there's like another 20%, so another half of that 40% of the total allocation that's going to be airdropped in the future, correct? For people who are learning about the community now.
Yeah, so 20% has already been dropped. That's in the Genesis dropped. So it's a way for us to say thank you to all the .so holders that has been supporting us from day one. And yes, you saw that all over the feed. That's really amazing. And it's also because they didn't expect it, right?
Yeah.
It just came out and they're like, whoa, okay, SNS gonna have an
Mhm.
airdrop. It's great. Thank you. Didn't expect that, but I mean they're already utilizing and using .so and also register for .so domains. So that was really a way for us to say, hey, thank you for supporting us from day one, right? The other 20%, which is an ongoing one right now, within a campaign called LFG Campaign. right? If you haven't heard of that, or you can go to our website at sns.id. It's on the top right corner. Please click it. It has all the information right there and how you can participate. It's an amazing campaign whereby we want to bring more people to get to know .so and come into the family, right? So that campaign has started, I think, in has been ongoing for around like 1 month-ish already. Very well received, especially on top right now that we are launching a $1. So that means with just $1, anyone on the planet, right, they can participate in this campaign, and they can also get like a .so domain, right, like in order to participate in this campaign with just $1. What the thinking around that is just we want to remove as much like barriers to entry for people as much as possible, and the idea really came from Solana Crossroad. You were there, you both were there. I was at the Solana All Stars booth. It was a really big booth right in front of the main hall, the main event. Like if you walk out of that event hall, you see them right away. There was this Turkish girl. She's still in university, right? Very excited, like just learn about Solana. Came up and say like, "Hey, what do you do?" So I was telling her all about SNS, all about .so, show her how to get like a .so domain, for example. So the regular 5 letters or more domains on .so is $20, right? What she told me was that, hey, like it's a very, very expensive for me as a university student in Turkey. That is like I work for the whole day, or maybe if it's part-time it's more, right, like to have that kind of money. So I mean that thing kind of stuck in our head. I also like brought it back to our team. We said, hey, why don't we try, right, like lift this barrier and see how it goes. So there we go. $1, you can get a .so domain for your wallet. Utilize it. It's the same, like in terms of utilization, integration with any .so domain that people get. At the same time, right now it's LFG campaign. So with that $1, you enter yourself into this campaign, and I would say it's like a point collecting system whereby the 20% of our token supply will be dropped to the participants at the end of the campaign. So stay tuned on that. And like, yeah, if you're out there, you haven't participated yet, SNS.id, click on the right top to participate in LFG campaign. And with $1, that's your ticket to get in. That's your ticket to get in.
Yeah, so this is what you're referring to, right? This is the SNS website, and like this is what it looks like when you first enter, and then here's this LFG button, and then you can see all the campaigns to earn dots, right? So complete missions, get badges, earn dots. And so you're saying that the easiest way to participate is to buy a domain with 10 characters or more, and that is super accessible. It's only $1. I actually thought that was genius because even looking at your data, I'm sure that the majority of domains that were purchased are kind of like under 10 characters, but there are plenty of really good domains after 10. Like, so for example, like my screen name, like is 10 characters exactly, and so like I snatched it for like $1, and I was like, oh, and it's a really good domain name actually. So I was thank you for the deal. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and especially it brings accessibility to a lot of people in emerging countries, right? Yeah, like Indonesia, we start to see more and more people register. For example, South America, for example, is kind of the unlocked part that like, hey, yes, like here it is. There's no reason not to get it anymore, and like let's get it going. And then like to see them start using this while onboarding to Solana is really, really what we really want to see. So accessibility from everywhere. We want to see .so everywhere, not just in high-income countries, of course. Like we want to see it everywhere in the world. That's how identity works. It shouldn't be a luxury. And this is how we get started.
It should come with the wallet even. It should come with the wallet. That's just
when you
BD
sign up for the wallet
idea. That's probably not the first one that's putting out there, but you should definitely collaborate with some of the wallets and tell them, look, whenever you create a new wallet, there should be at least a 10-character name. That's already better. Like some random word, like I don't know, like fruitymonkeypanda.sol, whatever, like just some shit, like just make something up. It's better than the whole pub key, because normies don't get that, right? So for adoption, this is like, this makes so much more sense.
A wallet or a
and that's
phone?
what I love about it. What's that?
Or phone, seeker, anybody, Like,
oh, hell yeah.
So I know for a fact that there's a lot of banger domains at $1. Just be creative and take some time to figure it out. I totally agree. And we also have Will McFletcher. And the reason why I'm mentioning Will is a part of the Jupiter Uplink team and is a part of the Soul Brothers family. I feel like it would be sick if, as a part of my onboarding flow onto Jupiter Mobile, like, look, they have features like Universal Send. And what's the point of a feature like Universal Send? Well, the whole point is that you want to onboard normies into crypto without having to, they don't need to understand anything. You just send them a link and then they download the app and suddenly, boom, they have USDC in their wallet, gasless, right? But as a part of that process, it would be awesome if they can get a .sol domain. So I guess I'm doing BD here right live on the call. I would be making that case later. But I think that's a huge hurdle for most normies. Like, you try to get my mom, for example, like, even though there's a very easy copy and paste feature, the mental cognitive overload of like having to copy paste an address is just kind of, it's very strange and weird to a normal person. Whereas like Crypto Schwarzenegger.sol, aka Simon, I think, that's over 10 characters. That's only done. You should get that one. Crypto Schwarzenegger.
Let me get that one.
Another thing too, Simon, this is, I think, our second most watched stream ever live. Like, the only other stream that we've had that's topped this was over 1,000, and that was because we did paid advertising using credits. It was like, how Twitter comes with like free credits? We used some of those credits to like boost, like, it's not like we advertised it, but we boosted the stream, right? This is the most viewership we've ever had in a single stream, completely organic. So I think people just love I did not realize the SNS community was going to show out like this. This is insane. I really loved it. $1. Yes, it is $1.
$1.
Okay, so I officially own crypto.schwarzenegger.sol now. So
that was fast.
Yeah.
And also, we got some new meta here. Fruitymonkeypanda.sol. That's I think Fruity is spelled a little wrong here, but I still love it though. Lordchat.sol. Thank you very much for that comment. It was so wonderful to have you here. Like, we obviously want to have you back. It's a very, very pleasant surprise that we're working together. When I first met you, I just thought you were cool. I never thought that we would be working anytime soon in any capacity, but like, I'm actually really glad. And we have a meeting coming up this week where we're going to be talking about all the fun things that we can cook up together to help.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
Simon, I feel like we need to. So I have a new supplier to create workout wear. And so like, and this is all kind of related to Soul Brothers. I would love to get our .sol domains like on a jersey, and like to like, .sol or Crypto Schwarzenegger.sol.
Can we send that to you?
Oh, I mean, we have our own, but but we would love .sol merch.
No, I mean the shirt. The shirt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I have one, honestly. Like, my girlfriend wears this a lot. The .sol. Like, she's always walking around outside with .sol.
That was maybe the personal. What do you think about the personalized one? Like, you get,
I think personalized ones are great. Yeah.
You want it in the middle like this, or you want it like somewhere in your like left side?
I don't know, because I feel like personally, I like it more subtle. Personally. Like, I think what would be kind of sick is like patches, like custom, but that's like a lot of work, like to create custom patches.
We do that, But
we do have custom Soul Brothers patches, but I do want to create like a custom, .sol patch that I would like put on stuff, or even stickers. You know what? Custom stickers would be sick to like, I don't even know if that's possible, but if like, there's like a vendor that you could bring to an event where it's all like, you can get you get like a 3-pack of like your own custom, but you have to buy it at the booth, right? Like, you have to buy a domain. And if you buy a domain, then like, we'll give you like 3 stickers. Yeah, because like, that's sick, but I don't know how to create custom stickers. So I'm totally.
Oh, that's a great idea. out. We'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Maybe breakpoint. You think that would be sick for breakpoint?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude,
100%.
custom that for sure would get, because a patch is a little difficult because not everyone can sew that on. But a sticker is like you put that on your luggage, you'll put that on your laptop. Like if it's custom to you, like absolutely, I think people would love stuff like that.
Okay,
wow,
that's a great
dude,
idea. Well, thank you. I think we should just figure something.
I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, $1 done. Says Alexander. Dude, this is the most comments that we've gotten in a single stream. This is actually kind of insane. Oh, I did not realize how popular we were. You are way more popular than we are.
Right?
Nobody comments on our streams, but you get Om on. It's like suddenly like, hello, everybody.
Good sign for the .sol community. Strong community.
How to comment on stream? Ace, I got to bring you on, you know? Lord Shaw. And we got Elizaveta. Do you know all these people, all these names? You must be very familiar with. Oh, who's gonna get $1.sol? Someone's gotta get $1.sol.
It's still not taken. Well, I think it's gonna be fast. Yeah.
I feel like that's the merch that I want to get. I want to get like .sol and underneath it just like $1. Ace, I will say your name over and over again. You are obviously an OG member of the community. We also have woof.sol, aom.sol. You just a lot of love over here. Aom is a legend. I agree, Lord Cha. Everyone is in love with SNS and Aom. And
yeah. Oh, actually, how do I do that? There we go.
It's so gangster. Okay. So, Aom, thank you so much for visiting us here over at Soul Brothers. We are definitely going to have you on again. And just thank you so much. We are going to do the rest of the podcast. We still have the latest and greatest updates to give on Solana. And obviously, there's an update here that it's like it has something to do with Sui. I don't know. We are going to talk about it on the podcast, but like since you're here, we like might as well mention it. What do you think, Simon?
Yeah, sure. Can we talk about it, Om? Like your little Sui expansion plans? What do you want to tell the community, if you can?
Next time, let's keep it a bit. Let's do the next time. Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sure.
Sounds good.
No problem.
All right, guys. Then stay tuned. There's gonna be more news. What's up, Bino?
There's one thing that we gotta fix here. There's something we gotta fix. This is not acceptable. How do I get a .sol? My guy. Come on, we're gonna fix this. We're fixing this live. Okay.
Okay.
Tell the people we're on the S. Where do they gotta go? First of all, okay. So
SNS.id.
This is for you. All right. You gotta go to SNS.id. Okay. You go to SNS.id. It'll take you to this website. And what do they gotta do next? So we're gonna go Ace. Is Ace available?
I think it's taken for sure.
No
way.
No. Hey, okay. You can't do emojis, right?
You can, yeah.
You can do emojis?
You can do emojis. Yeah, you can do emojis.
Dude, I did not know that.
You can do Korean
language. You can do emojis?
Yeah, you can do Korean language. You can do
Chinese. Is the most valuable domain.
Wait, what?
Have you done your name?
Dude, I did not know this. This is crazy.
You can do emojis.
Okay.
No problem. Right there.
All right. I feel very stupid. I did not. Okay. Guys, you can get domains in. Okay. I should have known this sooner. I was trying to shame Ace into learning how to buy SNS domains, but then I ended up shaming myself for not knowing. You could use emojis and you can use Korean characters. What the hell?
Yeah, Korean characters, Chinese characters, all works. You can try Korean.
Simon. That's Simon's name.
Simon.
Simon.sol. Yeah.
Wow. Right?
Oh,
yeah.
That's great. I should get my Korean domain name.
Why not?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Seoul
That's Japanese?
No, it's Korean. Seoul Burotosu.
Still valuable.
Yeah, dude, we have to get these. This is sick. You can do this in Korean? Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. I ended up learning something. I was trying to teach something, but I ended up learning something. So and also a really interesting thing I'm seeing on the stream here is that it's like Simon Aom, which is SEA, which is like Southeast Asia, and also like C. I don't know. It's just cool.
Wow. What is happening?
I don't know. The universe is just aligning right now. I've learned so much on this stream.
alignment. Yeah.
Aligned.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming on to Soul Brothers and sharing some of your personal story.
Yeah, thank you.
Good having you.
It's been really fun with you guys, and looking forward to the next one very, very soon. See you.
Cool.
See ya.
Thanks, Om.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios. Thank you. Cool. Thank you guys for tuning into this beautiful conversation. That was the Ohm special EP to dive into SNS and the Solana name service, which is an OG project on Solana and a sponsor of the show. So it was great to talk to the CEO of the company. We're going to do it again. I think there's much more we can learn about Ohm and the team as well. There's many more beautiful people in the background that make this happen. And me personally, I do definitely have some, strong positive opinions about the project since I'm a identity builder myself. But yeah, I hope we could give everyone a little bit of insight into SNS. If you don't have an SNS domain yet, make sure to get yours. 10 characters are just $1. And also potentially you can still grab your name or your first name, your last name, or your handle. Just make sure to check on the marketplace on sns.id. But yeah, cool. That was the special EP. Thank you so much for tuning into that one. And we'll see you for the next EP, which is going to be the latest and greatest of Soul Brothers, which airs every single week on YouTube, Twitter, and all our podcast channels.